What is up, dudes? So today I'm going to be touring my setup. I'm going to go over basically everything I've done to this. This is Gnome desktop. We're sitting on top of Arch. Um, and I'll kind of give like a more in-depth overview of what I got going on my system. I know I made the video about, oh, you might be using Gnome wrong. That was still in the early stages of me figuring out all the bells and whistles and stuff. It's still really great, but I have added and I've changed some things and I've gone a little more in depth on this. One thing I'm noticing, I'll say right off the bat, is that ricing and setting up GNOME as your system in the way that I use the system is far more complex and harder than something like i3 or like BSPWM. It's going to take you probably twice the amount of time, which is funny and crazy. But this all stems from me telling myself, I need to use this because I hate it. And, well, here we are. Okay, so let's get into it. First, I'm going to start off with talking about what I've done to GNOME itself. I've added the pop shell, so, you get the tiling. Oh, as you see, I'm going to have little screen key notations up on there so you can see all my shortcuts. Anyway, I've added pop shell to get the tiling. Honestly, I don't think GNOME is usable without it. Because the thing about GNOME is, out of the box, it uses this like workspace system that is kind of clunky and isn't the greatest. So if I go like this, you see how this is like this overview thing? This is how it normally starts. And then you type your thing you want to do, like, oh, I want to go Vivaldi, right? And then you open it up, and it's great. And then you switch to the next desktop, and then you do whatever. And that's all fine and dandy, but I just feel like the overview is not utilized in the way that it should be. So the way that I have it, as you can see, is it shows you all the apps I have, right? And then I can switch between these desktops, like here. So how do we achieve this sort of situation? So if I go into my extensions, we're going to notice we have a bunch of stuff here, but we'll talk about the overview first. So the things to change the overview you're going to need are this overview background. You're going to want start, overlay, and application view, which basically makes it so it goes right to the app grid instead of doing the weird workspace thing. What else? No overview on startup, which just means it starts the desktop like this instead of starting it like this, which is very nice. When it starts like this, it's like, number one, aesthetically, it's like not super pleasing. And that's not what your desktop's going to look like at all times. And this is where I think GNOME is messed up with the overview thing. The overview should be secondary to the application grid. It shouldn't be what comes before the application grid, if you know what I mean. So, there's that. Other things I've done, as you can tell, I don't have any dock. I got rid of the dock. We don't have any of the shortcuts on the side. Or frequently used apps. I don't even know if that exists because I had that shut off before I even had a chance to utilize it, so I might just be making something up, but I'm pretty sure there's stuff on the side. We've taken out the search bar, and all of that was accomplished with just perfection. And if you go into here, you can go to visibility, and you can tell I have a bunch of stuff turned off. Like a whole bunch of stuff turned off. And yeah, that's basically how I do that. It makes it nice too. Like this is nice to look at. And then, like I don't know, I want to play a game or whatever. It's right there. Like that's pretty dope. Okay. So, onward and upward, I guess we'll talk about my bar. So as you can tell, this ain't the normal bar that we use. And how do I achieve this? What I did was I use open bar. And right here, you know, you can just do whatever you want. Foreground, background, highlights, border, pop-up menus. So all my menus are gonna match. You know what I mean? Pretty nice. Uh, yeah, you can do stuff to the dock if you want to keep the dock. And then this will affect all your GTK stuff. I haven't really messed with this too much. And then a feature that I need to utilize is importing and exporting my settings, like for a dot file situation. This is nice because setting this up exactly the same way, because I've set this up on my laptop as well, like this little way this is, and it just, I don't know, it's harder. It's hard. It's hard to like dial it in exactly. So being able to do that's nice. Another thing about the bar is I have this tray icons reloaded. So if I clicked into here, this is just like an icon tray. This just shows me what I have open and like, you know, whatever. Um, User themes X, I use this because, so if you go into like, they have a user theme thing here. This doesn't work that great. So you want this one. And one of the issues I came in with this is I'll show you. If you do the shell, if you change it to something else, right? Ah, yeah. So you see how this is all blurry and weird, these icons? I noticed that when you use the user thing, the default one, what happens is it applies that effect no matter what, and you can't really tweak it. Where this allows you to hit all of this stuff, which is great. So that's just like GTK stuff, like cursor, icon, theme stuff, right? And we'll look at this real second, so for a second, so I can show you. But you see how basic this is? And my issue was is I would click the default, and then it would add that blurry thing, and I don't know, it's ugly. Okay, and then I'm using the space bar to handle my workspaces. So if I switch between workspaces and whatnot, what does that? Very nice. Open weather, that's just handling my weather widget. Impatience is a plugin that speeds up the animations. So I have mine turned off real low, so it's like, it's snappy as hell. I don't like animations. I think they're kind of pointless. Every time I've used some sort of window animation with the thing, it's you're wasting my time, dude. Like I'm gonna be really like you're wasting my time. I don't get my kicks off of RGB and window animations and Hyperland Rices or whatever. I just want to be able for my computer to feel snappy and to zip around on it. And yeah, the animations kind of kill that for me. So we got those shut down, turned basically off. Gnome fuzzy app search. That's just like if I, you know, look, I spelled that completely wrong. Vivaldi, right? But it brings it up, right? So that's all that's doing. Just making it so when I type stuff in, it's easier. Um, let's see. And that, I think that's pretty much everything for. Oh, this quick setting tweaker. This is cool. This adds a bunch of stuff to here, and you'll get like a notification list, and you can change like your input settings for your microphone and your output settings for your speakers or your headphones or whatever. This is very nice. This is probably a must-have. Yeah, it adds functionality. It's very good. Um, yeah, I mean espresso, we can get rid of that. I'm not using that right now. We're gonna find a different solution. Uh, Alphabetical app grid. So if you don't have the alphabetical app grid, what happens is these are kind of split into their own frames, and you'll have like a few missing on the bottom, and each one will be different, and that's really annoying to me. So I use the alphabetical thing. So like my main purpose is to fix that, but it also puts all my apps in alphabetical order. Not that I need that, but you know, every once in a while, if you forget how to spell something, or if you forget if something's on your machine or not, like looking through here, that works. And yeah, that's all the GNOME extension stuff. Oh yeah, vitals is just this right here. This is just monitoring how much RAM usage I've got and like where my CPU's at. Right? And covered all of that. Yeah, so let's get on to like apps. So one of the things, actually, if we open up my terminal, we're gonna go into the history. So one of the things about Gnome is like pretty bloated. Like I don't want to like be mean about it, but it's bloated, dude. Like half the crap that it comes with, you don't need, or you're not even gonna use because there's like a better alternative. Like I'm not gonna use their file manager Nautilus, dude. Sorry. Like Thunar is better, Ranger is better. I'm gonna use that stuff, right? The text editor, I'm not gonna use. Your system monitor, I'm not gonna use. So like what I did was is I went in at first I was looking around at like a like what gnome debloat really is. And I found a post where a guy listed off a bunch of applications. And so what I did was is I went right here. Actually, let's can we yeah, we'll zoom in a little bit. So I went in right here and I started listing off these things and I noticed like when it came back it was telling me like, "Oh, hey, half this stuff isn't here." So, what I ended up doing is I just went like this, got rid of that stuff, and so on and so forth. So right here, all these commands probably to like here. Wait, from like here to like here is me just removing bloat. So we got rid of the GNOME Tour, the connections, which is like a team viewer thing, Epiphany, which is the browser, Lupe is like an image viewer. Gnome Music, we don't need that. Nautilus, Gnome Console, I'm using Kitty. Like so like a lot of this stuff I just got rid of because it's just so that's one thing about Gnome. You should Gnome if you're not a Gnome user and you're watching this, you should be aware that it installs a bunch of crap that you're not going to use. Um, and you're gonna have to take the time to yoink it out. There is some stuff that's nice, like this disk analyzer. I will use this. This is very cool. I know that they're trying to make everything themed and look the same, but I'm not so much caring about that per se. I'm more caring about the functionality of something and like how lightweight it is. And I only care about lightweight stuff mostly because it's like I don't know. I'm not a person that lives beyond their means. I'm a very much a minimalist and like I live like a monk, dude. Like my only vice is marijuana. You know what I'm saying? And like fatty foods. So I don't I'm like if you get get where I'm coming from, like I don't like having all this junk. Like I like useful bells and whistles. Don't get me wrong. If it's a useful bell and whistle, I'll use it. But if you're giving me two different types of image viewers or two different types of document viewers or whatever, like I'm gonna get rid of that off my system. Like I'm sorry, dude. And it is what it is. So let's let me get off my little tangent and we'll talk about like what I use for programs. It's all pretty straightforward. We got a lot of Linux kind of, best of 80s hits going on here. Flame Shot, my screenshot utility. GIMP, that's for editing photos. There's going to be some games and stuff mixed in here, so just bear with me. We'll skip over the games. Um, Handbrake, this is for converting audio and video formats between each other. Very nice. HTOP, that's real classic on Linux systems, just like your system analyzer situation. Kdenlive is what I edit videos on. Most of the time when I make these videos, I don't necessarily edit them. It's just a screen cap and me talking. But sometimes I got to do a little clip job, a little here and or there. And this is what we do. I'm running Kitty as my terminal. We got Lutris, because in my experience between all the different ways that I've installed BattleNet, like it just seems to be the one that works the best. Some games. MPV, that's for watching my videos and stuff. We have NeoVim, that's going to be my terminal text editor. Yeah, NeoVim's great. Nomax, we'll actually look at Nomax real quick. So Nomax is my image viewer. I actually really like this. If we go down to some pictures, right? So it'll basically open it up like this if I want. I mean, I can have it, back in like a window like that, but most of the time I have it open like this and then I can scroll through. And this is nice. I'm not going to go too much in depth with this. This deserves its own video. But like there's a lot of like soft editing and like cool stuff you can do with Nomax, as well as it's just nice. I have it set up in frameless mode, which is how I get the, you know, that kind of like transparent look to it. Oh yeah, I forgot it. It's only on the one picture. But yeah, that's how I get like the transparency kind of look to it, is the frameless mode. Like if you go here, frameless, and then this is just like a full screen, I guess. Yeah, I like it. It's a cool little program. So let's see. I got like a shortcut to the Chrome Web Store that's always useful. Blanket is like a white noise generator. Sometimes I'm having issues falling asleep, or if I'm trying to like focus in on something and not be distracted, we'll play that. Clip grab, that's for grabbing videos off of websites. I got Ether Ape, that's mainly just to check up on like what's connected to my network and stuff. Sometimes I want to check to see, and the main thing that I use this for is in the middle of the night, there'll be nothing going on my network, and that's kind of the time I do all my big downloads. So this is just me making sure that I'm not like screwing other people on my network over. Um, yeah, when I go go to do a crazy download. There's that. Let's see. What else? Popsicle, that's my USB writer. I use that on Pop OS, and it's just really simple. It reminds me of like Gnome multi-writer, or like, I don't know, one of those other things. It's very nice. I like using that. So I have two virtual machines installed on my computer. I use VirtualBox and like a QEMU Virt Manager situation. I do that because when I jump around on distros and I'm checking out different stuff, sometimes like with these like beta ISOs and like other things, it'll give me a hard time in one and I can try it in the other, and it'll work in the other, and it's just really a quality of life thing to have two. What else? Obviously I got Steam. We got all the stuff to go along with Steam. We got Proton Tricks, Wine. We're using Tenacity as a replacement for Audacity. Um, yeah, that's pretty fun. What else? Screen key, that's how you can see all the things that I'm typing. Hold on. That's how you can see that, right? Let's see, what else? I think that's basically most of the software. Everything else is basically games and like just stupid utility stuff. Nothing. Oh yeah, VS Codium, obviously. Desktop for Discord. Variety is my wallpaper handler. So in here, if we go to preferences, I have this start up whenever I log in. And what's cool about this, if you're not familiar, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with this, and it's going to be stupid for me to explain it, but it scrapes a bunch of websites for wallpapers, and then it'll automatically change them depending on your settings and whatnot. But I have this pointed at a folder, like my wallpaper folder, right? And with the, oh my God, now I'm stuck in this. Hold on. Fixed. So I have it on my wallpaper folder, and then the setting that I use to have it always grayscale is right here under wallpaper. And yeah, so no matter what, when you use grayscale scale stuff, it's always gonna match, which is great. I'm a grayscale guy. Why not? Yeah. And that's the overview of that. Now, a few things is like keybinds. I have all the normal stuff. Super W opens up my browser. Super Q closes it. I have super space as my terminal. I have super R as ranger. We got super T on Thunar. And then what else? You know, navigation wise, control alt left and right. That just switches between desktops left and right. I can jump to a desktop with super and whatever number it is. Uh Super Shift 1 sends windows. So like, okay, if I go here, so if I go Super Shift 1, that'll send it to desktop 1. If I go Super Shift 3, it'll send it to desktop 3. That's pretty useful. Um yeah, those are basically all those shortcuts. I also have a shortcut right here. As you can see, Alt F1 opens up my scripts menu. And I just got like some real simple scripts here. Uh It'd be like launch apps. So what launch apps does is like anything that I would want open when I start my computer, I basically start like this. So it opens up Discord and an instance of Vivaldi. So then let's say if I want to get rid of everything, I have a script right here that says kill all apps. And if you watch the keybinds, it'll just go through, it's using xdo tool, and it's just quitting out of everything on all the workspaces, and then it jumps back to the first workspace and then sends a notifications. All apps have been killed. So yeah, there's that, the scripts menu. Now, some more navigation things. If we go into Vivaldi, I'll kind of look at what I have for extensions going on. We go to extensions. So it goes through, this is like ad blocker crap. I have a bunch of stuff, YouTube enhancement stuff. And then the main focus really is Vimium C. So what Vimium C is, or Vimium is, it's a extension that allows you to like do everything by shortcut. And like, what do you mean do everything by shortcut? Well, so let me think of a good example. We'll go to DistroWatch, right? We go to DistroWatch, and from here, like, let's say I want to find, if you look down in this little, there's a little search thing. Let's say I want to find something with Arch in it, right? Is there anything Arch? Hold on. So now I can jump to this Arch Linux part. We can go into visual mode and I can start selecting text if I want. You know, I'll select this. I can copy that and paste it someplace. So there's that. That's very nice. And then, like, basically the coolest part of this whole situation is how it jumps around the screen. And I'm like just so I've been only been using this a few days, but it like my quality of life has gone up so much as like a keyboard person. So if I press F, watch what happens. You see all these hints? So then you know, I can just go wherever. Like let's say I want to go, let's look at Sir Winter's uh YouTube profile. And how would I get there? Well, as you can see, there's a hint that says KG. So if I type KG, it's going to click on that, and then I can jump right to this dude's channel, right? And yeah. So like, you know, navigating other things, like let's say I want to go look for a wallpaper. So Alt W would open up a new tab, and then I could be like wallpaper HD nature. Right, and then I come into one of these things, and then I hit the F key, and then I see that AD is images, so we go to AD, right, and then this will load this in, and let's say this image right here looks pretty cool. I do F, and then we'll go to LM, and that'll give this view, and then we'll do F again, and we'll go to KP, view site anonymously. Oop. I guess I've been blocked. DP. And then this will open this page, and then I can do page up and page down to kind of scroll it and look for what I'm looking for. This one right here, right? So if I go F, it's going to be under P. So we go to P, and then I do F again, and then we hit W because that's the download wallpaper. I hit tab over to save as. We're going to go tab, 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 and then go down to pictures, and then tab, 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 tab. And then this, and then right here, I can just save it into my wallpapers folder. Oh, I gotta tab a few more times. Bam, save the wallpaper. And that's basically how my navigation works on my browser. F4 closes my downloads menu. Like let's open up a couple things. So if I do this, control page up and page down lets me cycle through my tabs, which is pretty useful. There's also shortcuts built into let's go into, let's see, DW. We'll go onto this page real quick if it'll load. Oh, interesting. JW. Sometimes you have to use the other key hint, right? So, what was I about to say? I'm so stupid. So, Vimium has its own keybinds. So if I want to go back and forth, if I hold Shift and do H, that will normally it'll go back. This opens in a new tab, but if I do Shift and H, right? Or are we just doing new tab stuff? Yeah, we're just doing new tab stuff. Oh my goodness. Let's find something. So yeah, so tab and H or Shift and H will right? Control H. No, that's not it. Oh my god, I'm having navigation issues on a serious level. Okay. What is it? Okay, J and K. Oh, it's because I have caps lock on, right? Yeah, that's why. Okay, caps lock always kills. I should do the thing where you switch the caps lock with the escape key. That would probably be very smart of me, but I just haven't done that yet. Okay, so Shift H will go to the previous page, and then Shift L will go forward. Well, if you're actually on a page, it'll go backwards and forwards that way. Yeah, whatever. You get the hint. I also use a backspace to navigate through there. So there's that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else cool for me to talk about this. I think I've basically covered all my bases, right? Oh yeah. Well, I mean, because of the vest top thing, I use vest top and then I use a custom CSS. I found it off the Better Discord. If you look up Better Discord themes, that site, if you type in night, that's the one I use. It'll pop up. It'll be the first one. Pretty based. And then yeah, the way that I log in and log out, if I'm feeling lazy and weird with the mouse, I'll do it like that, and then otherwise, I'll be like, oh, I gotta reboot. I'll type it right in here, or shut down, and then I can power off, and then like log out. So all the different things I can just type into there and then do what I want to do with it. So yeah, yeah, that's it. That's the overview, the MTV Cribs tour of your boy's desktop. Um, Yeah. Oh, icon theme is Groovebox Dark or whatever. I really like this one. And then oh, one other thing, my prompt. So my prompt just kind of shows my working directory. So if I do like cd/scripts, you see it'll just say scripts. I just use the folder name because if the folder name, I'm not digging too deep into my system files to where like if I get like a share and I'm like confused what share folder it is. Most of the time I'm just doing stuff in my home directory, so I'll use it that way. I know in the future I'll probably switch it so it shows the full path. And then yeah, we'll give a little neofetch real quick just so you can see. Yeah, I got the custom image thing. And actually, how you do that? Shit, I'm meandering again. How you do that is you go into your bash RC, and I have an alias set up for NeoFetch that puts this dash dash kitty flag, and then the path to the picture that I want to use. Very nice. Yeah, my prompt is real easy too. See, well, we could actually we'll do it like now that I'm thinking about it, just because it is smarter. We'll do lowercase w so it shows the full path, right? So let's exit out of here. Let's do. Actually, I can just go up. Right? Yeah, that'll show the full path right there. Yeah, and that's useful. All right. So if you like this video, you want to comment, share, like, subscribe, follow, stalk, do all the cool things. Um, I come out with videos. I make stuff. It's mainly me just ranting because it's like cathartic because I think about this stuff all day and I don't have anybody really to talk to about it. So enjoy. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my vacation. I'll probably put out another video in the next couple days about something. I don't know. I've got a whole list of things I can make videos on, which is pretty cool. Check you guys later. Have a good day. I'm gonna go die.